I'm Coach Joel Lincoln, and welcome to Corn Fed with a side of Cajun sauce. I'm your host, Joel Lincoln, with my co-host, the Cajun sauce man himself, Tony Sterling. Quick story about Sterl's my guy. We've been working Snow Valley basketball camp since 2012. Tony, when was your first year at Snow Valley?
This year coming up it'll be my 11th year
Okay, so
or
you must have been,
whatever.
2011, because this is my third. No, excuse me. You went in 2012 because this is, it's gonna be my 14th year as a coach. I
Mhm.
started in 2009 as a counselor, and that's what we're gonna be talking about today is our summer schedule. Different events we are going to be at. What James you can find us in. A couple announcements as well with Game Shots Basketball and a partner out west, and where you can find Tony and I different things. What we got going this weekend. I'll be previewing here in Charlotte. We have the Elite 60 high school camp, and they've got kids I think from like more than a handful of states. It's invite only. I know that is ran by Stellar Hoops. They've got Ball is Life. Slam Magazine is going to be in covering. I'm excited. It's just a 1 day event. I believe there's 3 invites left, so if you want to attend, please reach out. Get on Twitter. Stellar Hoops, reach out. They do great things. This was my first time working, second time attending. Our friend Mike Morrison introduced me to these guys earlier this fall. And some of the guys with Team United, said Canty, Ed Cook, great people over there. I'm really excited to work that this weekend. So, Tone, what's been going on since last week? Did you guys have practice for Houston Hoops? What do you got going other than driving that bus in the morning and the afternoon for the kids, man?
Um, Not too much. The Houston Hoops 15U team played in a Gasso tournament in Dallas this past weekend. They went 3-1. Played together as a team. I couldn't go this past weekend because I had stuff to do at school and stuff like that. But this weekend coming up, they play in a tournament in Houston this weekend just to prepare for next weekend at in Dallas, Texas at the second EYBL session that they'll be participating in, and hopefully that goes well and
Mhm.
everything like that.
So as a coaching staff in the EYBL, what's that look like? Is everyone, obviously you're based in Denham Springs down there in Louisiana, right outside of Baton Rouge. But where's coaching staff all based from? How's that work? Do you guys meet via Zoom? Do you call, text? Obviously, when you're in it, you know those guys well, but is there any sort of like actual coaches meetings planning? What's that look like now as your first year in this as a rookie?
Um, since COVID happened, everybody has been doing Zoom. So we either do Zoom, then we communicate throughout the week through group text, stuff like that. Actually the head coach, he's from Lafayette, Louisiana, Jonathan Bob. So he knows the landscape of Louisiana, you
Mm-hmm.
know, far as not just basketball, but food, music, stuff like that. So we kind of hit it off from jump when I became a part of the staff. So it's been pretty good. I mean, it's communication, and technology that keep you up to date on everything. So we usually text, Zoom, stuff like that, phone calls every now and then, which that isn't even a norm anymore for anybody. Either you text messaging or emailing stuff like that. So
I mean, I try FaceTiming you, but you stay ducking them. So I guess I'm gonna have to start sending some pigeons, maybe send you some
man,
text,
you
Tony, two
you
phones.
call the wrong time every time, man.
I
Every
hear
time.
you there. Well, I'm excited, man. I'm really excited. We will, of course, be continuing this every week moving forward. Shout out, don't know if I said at the beginning, shout out Jason Kern, coach at West Brand High School, also spent town down in the boot. Actually, I believe is did you knew about Snow Valley before Jason Kern, but obviously you the Kern family and you have a deep connection. Obviously our guy Spiel as well down there in Central A and B Snow Valley Basketball School, which we'll be touching on later. But as when you're at EYBL next weekend down here in Dallas, I'm really excited. The Charlotte Skills Factory, one of the clubs I coach with here locally, we do something called the CYBL. It's following more of the practice, and we just play one game on Saturdays. And especially with our younger teams, we found it really works. We got second and third grade teams, and the parents like we don't charge any to get in. We got really good officials. And with that, we've been having this as our inaugural season this spring. And with that, we're going to be launching a 3-on-3 next fall, and we've actually had it going this spring as well. And this is going to be their culminating event. And I'm really excited next week to launch that and kind of bring that to the forefront. I think there's a big time opportunity here, not obviously in North Carolina, but I think nationally as 3-on-3 grows. Just seeing, getting to know our friend Nick Lagaba, who coaches the national team, I think, especially from a teaching tool, from a development tool, something I love to utilize. And if you've been following our content online, you noticed last week we posted a couple 3-on-3 variations. We were doing just my third grade team. 3-on-3 teaches great, obviously spacing, pace. It's great conditioning, especially if you have a shot clock, things like that. You can get guys moving, but especially at the youth level, at the developmental level, where we're at right now, it's second through fourth graders. And we play on the 10-foot goal with a regular size basketball, which is not necessarily ideal, but facility wise and parent optics wise, that's a tough battle to get. But right now, the kids have loved it. The response has been fantastic. We had sold out quickly, and now next year we're going to, like I said, in the fall, we're going to be launching a full league with team practices, things like that, with a train and play model. Myself and Tyrone McDaniel will be taking that over and running that next fall. And I'm, like I said, we're kicking off the very beginning, a lot of first beginnings here at Game Shots Basketball, kicking off the regular podcast, bringing Tony on board, as well as launching that 3-on-3 league. And we'll be developing some content around that in the fall. And this will be the springboard here next Saturday. So I'm really excited for that. And then what do you have the following weekend, Tony? We're looking at that May 20th weekend. I'm going to be here. Where are you going to be at?
I know for sure that I'll be at the USA Gold Camp in Houston, Texas. It's ran by, a guy that's been grateful, been a blessing to us, Don Showwater or whatever. So get an opportunity to, be a part of that, get to, not only teach the game, but learn the game from different guys from that area or whatever. So that's another, big opportunity to to teach and learn at the same time, then build some probably new relationships, might be old relationships, just traveling the world, traveling the country, going to different camps. It seems like you run into the same face every time. And, especially with the kids and, and stuff like that. And the EYBL I'm a familiar face to them or whatever. That's why it was so surreal the first time when we played in Atlanta or whatever, just seeing all those kids since they were sixth graders, now seeing them, they almost out of high school. That was kind of neat to see. So, but other than that, the following week, June 2nd through the 4th, I'll be working the Crossroads Elite Invitational. Is ran by Adam Showers or whatever. It's in Indianapolis, Indiana or whatever. So he bringing us some really, really good talent, like nationally ranked talent. I'm actually bringing one of our freshmen from this year, Jermaine O'Connor Jr., eighth grader from Ruston, Louisiana, Ahmad Hudson. His father was Antonio Hudson that played at Grambling High. And then he got, played in college at LSU. So I'm ready to see those kids, see how they compete against some of the nationally ranked kids in the nation or whatever. Then, when those kids compete against, different kids from all over, like it just opened up their, their mind, and like they grasping a lot or whatever, and they just sitting down and in the airport, just like, what? Who did I just play against? I know this guy. I seen him on YouTube or whatever. This guy, me and him got the same talent or whatever. So hopefully it'll be a motivation to those guys or
Mhm.
whatever. So, but I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm really excited. I'm hoping to get be able to have the opportunity to work in on that one as well. And you said you're doing the Houston USA basketball camp?
Yeah, USA Gold Camp. Yes.
Yep. Okay, cool. And yeah, also the one at the end of the month in Atlanta. Um,
Hmm.
I will be at that one in Atlanta with a couple other Snow Valley guys.
Yeah,
Shout out
Fuji.
Coach Showald. I was gonna say Fuji, T Salt, gonna be a big time crew. They're trying to get me to go to a baseball game on Friday. I think that's got about a 0% chance of happening. But we'll stay open minded to catching America's nap time. So we got those. Oh, I did want to touch on as well. Like I said, that weekend of the 20th, I'm working event local here, a middle school girls camp Elite 75. There are limited spaces available left on
Hmm.
that. That's Elite 75 on Twitter if you are interested in getting registered for that. And then, yeah, man, it's funny you're saying seeing all the same faces from kids and from coaches. Because I'm gonna see your mug in Houston as well. I'm really excited. Yeah, that in the week, I think that's gonna be a bit. I mean, shoot, I'm hoping. Yeah, whether it's at Crossroads, I know there's a Made Hoops event that weekend as well. I believe in New Jersey.
Hmm.
Actually, yeah, that week. So I'm hoping to do either one of those events, depending on just kind of logistics and what it works. And obviously, looking forward to seeing you in Houston. Very excited to be back. Yeah, with USA basketball, especially on the gold camps. And I'll speak for myself. I know from a coach's and a player's perspective, that was probably the number one thing I was asked about while out and about at different places, whether it was Made Hoops, whether it was USA Gold Camp in Omaha last fall, or excuse me, right after it, put it on social media. A lot of people had no idea. And I know in Atlanta, I just were, especially on the girls' side, or excuse me, on both sides, registrations are starting to roll in, but there is still space. I know we're going to have a couple kids from Charlotte coming, a kid, Chacho Womack, who plays for Team Loaded here in North Carolina on the 3SSB. He might be one of the best scorers. I'm very excited to see how he competes. I've not made it out to a 3SSB event yet. I have seen some of the highlights and things, and I know I had helped coach Chacho last fall, and just his growth and how he's very competitive. His dad does a great job training and developing him, and Chacho's an outstanding athlete and hard worker as well as academically. He's going to Charlotte Latin next year, and I'm really excited to follow his progress, have him out there. I know there a couple of Team United kids here locally talking with Ed are in the process of registering and everything. So make sure if you're in this region in Atlanta, that last weekend in May, the boys camp is on Sunday and Monday, girls is on Saturday, and then Sunday until about noon. So if you're in Atlanta, make sure you're in, especially if you're serious about it. From the girls, I know in Omaha, we had a handful of girls that got invited to national team tryouts from that event. So there is a lot of talent that's going to be there. And especially year two with a full rollout now that I think COVID's fully in the rearview mirror. I'm very curious to see what the turnout is from a talent perspective, because even on the boys side, we had a handful of kids that once again were familiar faces from CP3 events that you've seen, and so I'm very excited to see that in year two, just the growth, and yeah, just the opportunity to learn, number one, because shoot, you're three letters, you're the country, man. There's not a lot of ways, civilian wise, you can represent the country. And obviously, I appreciate our soldiers, everything they do for us. But, as a coach, it's an honor and tremendous opportunity to, especially help kids and learn yourself. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, yeah, so by then we're looking at probably mid-June now. What are you doing after USA basketball? And basically the month I get off from you before we reconvene in God's country up there in a little slice of paradise in Iowa.
Um, it's some. I got like two more camps that
Yep. What
I'll
do you
be
got?
going to. I really can't tell you about those yet
Yep.
because
Yep. Yep.
they haven't released them. to the public. So I'm just waiting on them or whatever. Which
Hey,
we'll be back. On
hey, we'll
this
be back.
camp.
No doubt about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So but mostly for the month of June we have our basketball camp or whatever, June 5th through the 8th at Denham Springs High School with Coach, Coach Kevin Caballero leading the hand with all that. So that's kind of a down period for me where I can just wake up and teach the area kids about just simple things or whatever. Because sometimes when you go into these camps and you're dealing with all these advanced kids or whatever, you basically trying to teach them just how to play together and be a good teammate. You're not really working on fundamentals, unlike when you're doing like a normal basketball camp like this. You're really trying to teach them, just simple fundamental stuff like how to use 2 feet, 2 hands. What Taste Lock used to tell us. You make layups with your eyes. You make jumpers with your feet. So that's a whole different, deal where you got to, teach kids what that means and stuff. And, stuff like that sticks with kids because it's simple, it's quick, and you'll always remember it, just like brushing your teeth or, putting your shoes on at one at a time, one at a time, stuff like that. And far as like with teen camps and stuff in high school, we'll probably go to Episcopal High School for like Friday and Saturday of June, which they haven't released the dates and stuff yet. We'll go to like college teen camp. I think UNO, University of New Orleans, in New Orleans or whatever. What else? There's a whole
I
bunch.
was
You mainly we just try to keep our kids in sync during the whole month of June. We lifting a lot of weights now and stuff like that. So just trying to keep them in sync before with high school rules and stuff. You can't really do anything in July except if you really want to bring them in and play pickup, lift weights from time to time. But you just really want to keep them in sync with everything before you start school again.
yep,
Which I
keep
mean, it's May right now, but shoot, in 2 weeks from now it's gonna be August.
immediately, if not
Yeah,
sooner.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I shoot. I'm excited. Yeah, no, and I know June. So it sounds like down there in the boot, man, you got it just sounds like similar to how it was when I coached out in Oregon. You played dang near a second season, probably about 20, 30 games in
Mm-hmm.
June. By the time you get all
Mm-hmm.
said and done, probably have what, 10, 15 practices?
Mm-hmm. Oh yes. Usually start out in the morning. Kids lift weights or we'll practice, just depending on the schedule. With other sports teams like football. Baseball. Everybody's. We got two weight rooms on school campus, so we gotta find the availability and stuff like that to where it works for us. But most time, be in the morning, we'll be done by 12. Stuff like that. Then if we have a summer league game that afternoon, or whatever. So it'll be good.
Yeah,
Other than
man.
that,
What day do you guys get out for summer?
May 19th, good old May 19th.
Dang, you got, dang, man. I thought we were close. I got 5 classes left with each one of my classes, or yeah, I got 5 on our rotation. We got like
Yeah,
20 some odd days, but we don't get done till the first week of June.
yeah, okay.
Which I
But
mean, we don't go back
you
to then.
guys,
We don't go back till after Rising Stars, so that's part of the
okay,
gig. Yeah, it'd be
okay,
straight.
okay, okay.
But speaking of the end of June, and also a happy birthday shout out to national champion. So call him champ. Put some respect on his name, Johnny Radford, our guy, Snow Valley guy. Johnny and I are going to be collaborating in Hailey, Idaho, potentially with some big time speakers. Maybe a national coach of the year, making a trip out. And it's going to be in Hailey, Idaho, June 26th through 29th. We will do it'll be elementary and middle school in the morning, and then high school in the afternoon, and then elite in college pros in the area will be in the evening. I'm very excited. Johnny's, I mean, shoot, I feel like I watched the kid grow up, and I just tweeted out a picture throwback of him and our guy Casey Corn. Johnny's got the pushback hair, man. I think he maybe weighs $125. And now, man, just to see his development, the Radfords, they're awesome people, man. John Radford's Snow Valley through and through. You know, shoot, he did the one in California. Good dude. Put me on to Bomba's socks. I'm definitely gonna be doing some hiking. If you know me, hoops, hiking, coffee. That's about it. And so I'm really excited. We're gonna be watching some beautiful sunsets. We're gonna be getting in the gym. I'm really excited. I previously had worked out in Idaho a decent amount actually with Midwest Elite Basketball, which is a player development company that brings the camp to you. And I know for me specifically, there's two things that really developed me as a young coach. Number one was going to Snow Valley Basketball School, just seeing a high level of teaching of the game. And that's where Tony and I will both be for the most of the month of July. I believe almost all the sessions are sold out. I know the June session, the one that neither of us are going to be at, is going to have some elite coaching. I know Dave Severance is going to be there. Tony's guy, original Snow Valley guy. Herb Livesey's going to be there in June.
The guy that started it.
The guy, hey, the real, exactly. The original headmaster of Snow Valley Basketball School. And I mean, usually you got Sean Sturkle there. I mean, there's usually a really good crew in June, because I actually worked it 2 years ago at the last minute, had a couple coaches back out just on some random things. So that June one, I really enjoyed. I know from a middle school perspective, that was probably the most talented group. Also, I did want to note that having been at Snow Valley Basketball School, I had it happen that AJ Green, who now plays for the Milwaukee Bucks, although eliminated, he was the first Snow Valley alumni I remember coaching. I remember he was in like 4th grade, and he was just busting kids' ass down in the Central A. And I was just like, dang. And shout out to him, played at University of Northern Iowa, I believe went undrafted. And that was a kid. So, I mean, I know the Murray twins. I know McDermott. And so
Harrison Barnes.
I was going to say, so it's no longer. And I talked to a show a couple days ago, and it's, they got the number of states, countries. I think there's coaches and players from like almost 20 states, 4 or 5 different countries. I hope our guy Al's going to make it back. Al, I know you got a lot going on, but hey, we need you back. Waverly, Iowa misses you. And yeah, man, I can't wait July. And that 3 weeks, even though you're working 18, 20-hour days and then listen to some crazy ass stories at night, that 3 weeks, at least for me, is, and that's a wrap. So, and then I'm going to be
stay away from the eggs.
Hey, if you work Snow Valley, 2 things. Number one, make sure you talk to me, because I am the basketball barista. I do brew coffee every morning. And it's kind of this will be year 4. So it's kind of getting known. So number one, if you need coffee, if you're that type of guy or girl, make sure you get to know with me. Number 2, the food, just be aware. Delicious. But hey,
except for the eggs.
Hey, and they taste great. You get a little sausage in there with
the
them.
Eggs are great.
Bacon. Hey,
yeah.
But hey, 15 minutes later, you better make sure we're in the close proximity of some facilities.
Bring a book.
Yeah, hey, and make sure your phone's charged. But man, I'm excited for Snow Valley, man. I'm just excited talking about it. And I guess, Tony, you started this. You said this is gonna be what year for you?
11th year.
11th year. So man. So that means I've been sharing a room with this dude 3 weeks a year, every year for the past decade. So, hey, great roommate, very clean, some idiosyncrasies, which I won't disclose unless there's a proper amount of cash. But if you've been around Tony, you know about it. Tony's a great dude. He loves Twizzler nibs. Very cleanly. Will play some good 2 chains. The request line is open. He does have a good Bluetooth speaker, usually setting the vibe in the morning, which I can appreciate as an energy guy, morning guy. But yeah, man, Tone,
Drake
I'm
all the
really,
way.
what's that?
Drake all the way.
I was
You
gonna
don't like
say,
NBA young boy.
hey, that's what I'm saying. Have you been listening? Have you heard any of the AI Drake?
No,
Hey,
the original Drake.
I hear. Hey,
Might have to bring some Jay-Z. Might have to bring some Jay-Z.
hey,
It'll be a Jay-Z week with one of the sessions.
hey, I'm
Second
in.
second session of July. I mean second session of Snow Valley. All Jay-Z.
Hey, I think it's just important to set the vibe, and I think Jay Z definitely knows a lot about doing that. Oh, speaking of Snow Valley, in between sessions, I'm looking for a gym with either in Des Moines or the Quad Cities to run either 1 or 2 day game shots camp, similar to what we'll be doing in Idaho, which we'll be calling that Sawtooth shooting. I'm really excited. It's a bit of an ode to Snow Valley Basketball School, mountain range style. In the Sawtooth Mountains, if you're not familiar, it's a beautiful place. I'm really excited to get out there. I'm really excited to help Idaho to go make an impact on Idaho basketball. I know out there as a small town from a little dinky town, about 800 people. So being from a small town, getting out there, helping kids, man. And obviously Johnny has a tremendous story of being from there, working his way up. I mean, shoot, I think he went north of 50 at least once, if not twice in his high school career. Um, and he's not selfish. That's just how good he is. So I'm excited to get out there, do that. But I am looking for a facility on July. Give me one moment. Look at my notes. And I got to reach out to a couple people. But if one of our 8 listeners to this has a facility in Des Moines or the Quad Cities, I may be doing it at my alma mater, Durant High, but I would probably be doing that after the last session. So I'm looking for July 15th and 16th. Either if you have a facility, it doesn't have to be free 99, but also if it's a donation, I'm down for that. I just want to help kids, especially being an Iowa guy. Um, would love to give back and help kids either that weekend or doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if there's any coaches interested in collaborating, hosting, I'm very excited. Would be very excited. I'll probably bring along this dude so he doesn't have to go to that employee store and just get absolutely taken. So I'm excited, Tone. What other events, anything people need to make sure they're getting registered for? I got one, but is there anything that you need to make sure people are know about, getting registered for, all that stuff?
No, I'm gonna talk about it more in the podcast in middle of July while we're at Snow Valley. I got something I want to do with some basketball players in Louisiana. Don't want to talk about it too much right now. Talking to some Nike Jordan brand affiliates, you know, gonna bring on my guy right here, Joel. Just want to put everybody on notice about Louisiana basketball. You know, we got great athletes, but we do have good basketball players too. I know. You know, our state is known for football. Shout out to LSU football or whatever. But
Shout out to LSU women's basketball guy.
yeah,
Hey, call him
no doubt.
champ. Hey, call Angel champ. Put some respect on her name. And they just
Yeah,
got Hailey from Louisville. Bruh.
yes,
Hey,
yes,
hey,
yes.
Gino. Hey, Gino. Hey, I'm excited. I'm excited for the competition. I'm really excited for women's basketball. Obviously, can't talk about
Oh yeah.
Iowa. Hey, and hey, guess how quick that camp sold out? My nieces were trying to go, man. That I want to say it sold out in like 20 minutes. Shout out
I
Caitlin
actually
Clark.
yeah. I actually went to Iowa's men's basketball practice last year with our guy Brian Frick that coaches at Johnson High School in Des Moines, and they were, while we were watching the men's practice, and all of a sudden the girls came in, and you know and we watched the women's basketball team for a good minute. You can tell Caitlin Clark is who she is. I mean, the way she plays, she practices like it. Good nature, great teammate, great teammate.
I was gonna say, so
So
what were some things? Also, Larry Bird making a little appearance here. Larry Bird, my dog, Tony's favorite golden doodle. Uh, what did you notice about her in practice? You mentioned her communication, but is there anything noticeable, like how she warmed up? Anything? Obviously, you spend a lot of time around elite talent. So. What did you notice about things that stuck out with her? You talked about being a great teammate, but was there specific things she did, said that you remember, obviously an experience almost a year ago or 2 years ago?
um, like her teammates could be themselves around her. Like she wasn't one of these attention getter type personalities where everybody had to be looking at her. She basically just blended in, and the only reason I knew who she was anyway because you know me being a basketball
Yeah, you know who.
bat maniac, yeah. But you wouldn't have known who she was if you were just somebody just walking in the gym or whatever. But she she blends in like I said, she's a great teammate or whatever. From what I've seen, and I mean anybody could tell I mean, she don't. It doesn't matter if it's the manager of the basketball of the program or the 15th person, on the bench that doesn't get into playing time. She treats everybody the same. So, but it was pretty neat to see her practice or whatever. So,
Mm-hmm. Well, excellent.
but
I'm
one
gonna.
thing, one thing I did see her do before when she picked up a ball, she started close. She didn't come in there like these most kids, coming shooting a three. Like she started in close,
No.
started in close, started in close,
Who there?
warming her
End of the
hand.
bench player.
No, Caitlin Clark.
She started where?
Inside her
Oh,
lane.
like inside the 3-point line, like toes on the
Yeah,
line.
no, in the lane. She was in the lane shooting close shots, 3 foot shots,
Oh,
3 foot shots, right in front of the goal.
was she missing a lot, or was she probably swishing most of them?
And swish, swish, swish.
Got it.
And
So
you had about two or three, hit the rim. So, but
yeah,
yeah, so she was warming up her hands. She had to see herself make it. She had to see the ball go through the hoop first before she, start shooting 36 footers.
yeah, and we're coming up here on the end, but and that this is something I've been thinking a lot about. And just especially as I've pivoted now to almost, I help with club basketball. I'm trained for the Queen City Ballers, which is on the UA Rise FBC affiliated, for the girls, and then I coach youth stuff on the boys side, and train a variety of ages. Is just having a difference of working on shooting versus working on scoring. And I think a lot of people work on scoring, not a lot of people work on shooting. And I think people that don't work on shooting spend a lot of time shooting to score. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. And
And
everything
like,
is a habit.
mhm,
Everything is a habit. You can continue to work on that habit each time, and you will get better at it. But you gotta be doing it properly.
yeah,
So
or practice the wrong way a lot of times and get really good at doing it the way that works for you. Cause there's the usual suspects of guys that shoot weird, in the NBA
Bruce
that have,
Bowen,
hey, we can go my guy, Larry Bird. We can go my other
Jokovic.
guy, Reggie Miller. Like, but hey, you got to be number one. You got to be in there getting the reps. And that's one thing that our guy, and this is, one thing as we've been putting this together, and I think Tony does an excellent job of, is really reminding and taking some wisdom that we've both heard from a guy that we have a lot of respect for and has, greatly impacted. I'll speak for myself, greatly impacted me as a coach, as a person, in Tate's Lock. And he said, learn how to learn. And, Tony says it regularly. And that's what this podcast is all about from a coaching perspective is we want to share the game. We want you to learn along with us. And as we're doing this stuff, everything, I'm going to let you know a little secret. Everything on this YouTube channel is stolen. Very few of these concepts are original. My take on a drill or Tony's take on a drill or a concept or verbiage may be different. But all this is stolen. Please steal our content, use it. The only thing we would ask is that if you use it, you're at least subscribed. And if you want to be a great teammate, help us out, share it with a teammate. Like I said, we're going to be doing this a weekly deal. Shout out Wes Rockwood. Rockwood Creative is going to be coming up with a logo for us. We will be doing that. I do want to put a plug. If any of our handful of listeners who Brian Frick did text me, said you guys are doing great, so thank you for that, Frick. We appreciate that. If there are any social media people or technology, college, high school people, we would love the help. And it could be a remote. If you're based in Charlotte, that would be ideal. But if there's somebody that can help a couple dudes with some content, I know we are very excited to obviously be building this and just continuing to work and give back and share the game. So, Tony, last question. What have you been reading or listening to that you found is good content this week?
Really haven't been reading nothing.
What have you been listening to? Or what's the little nugget of wisdom you picked up along the way here?
Always keep your posture.
Always keep your posture. What do you mean? You got less than a minute here.
Always stay in tune with yourself, even if you get too busy with your surroundings. Always stay tuned with yourself. Louis Giglio, Passion City Church.
Love it. Well, hey, thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you have subscribed. We will be getting up on podcast platforms soon. We appreciate you tuning in. Make sure any feedback is in the comments. If there's any guests, things you want us to do, make sure you are letting us know. Thank you. And make sure you watch, use the reps. You'll get the results.